Please can we welcome the great Imogen Heap.
Hello. Thank you, David. It's great to be here. I'm very excited to show you my magical musical gloves, which is what I'm wearing. I wanted to tell you why I'm here wearing my magical musical gloves. So I'm going to begin by telling you a little bit about how I usually do a stage show pre-gloves. Pre-gloves, I have a load of instruments on stage with me. I have, various acoustic instruments. I have a Perspex piano, which houses all of my tech gubbins, which is things like samplers and loopers and music software that I use inside my computer now, which is a software called Albeton, which I was going to show you, but for some reason we couldn't get the screen hooked up to that screen. So you have to imagine this software, which is over here. Basically, inside this software, I can kind of play virtual instruments. I can, loop things, do things that I could do in the studio. Basically, kind of bringing in the sounds that I have in the studio, all these kind of layers and textures that I spend hours and hours noodling in my basement for nights and days and years on end. Bringing them onto the stage is often quite a challenge, because how do you represent all of those layers without kind of, in the past, just hitting kind of play, how do you get those sounds onto the stage? So over the years, I've had kind of various ways of doing it, trying to get, basically not always be stuck behind the computer or behind my gear. So I've had like strap-on keyboards, I'd have like little things I could stand on to like set my loopers in motion. I've always had these, for the last kind of 6 years or so, I've had these little microphones strapped onto my wrists so that I can mic up wine glasses if I'm playing wine glasses, or my mbira, or guitar, or an acoustic piano, or my voice, whatever I want to record or kind of have amplified on the move, to save me hundreds of microphone stands setting up. So then this problem was, how do I kind of do this on the move without having like a keyboard and a lot of the things that, I want to do expressively, like, add a huge reverb to something. If you had this thing, which is, I butchered it by adding little straps on it so I could be wireless, and add a little wireless MIDI thing onto it. Sorry. Oh, that's better. Stop it. Okay. This, for instance, if I wanted to bring up the reverb, what I'd have to do is I'd have to do that. Okay, that's not very exciting, is it? So if I have that like that, you can't even see what I'm doing. So I could be doing my email for all you know. So this is kind of, but this thing, like all these things that are these kind of 50% of the show that gets hidden. Oh, sorry. Okay. Ugh. Wait a minute. I want to get back to the demo mode. Okay. This is solo, by the way. Solo. So, what was I saying? I got all carried away. I can't remember what I was saying. Anyway, so I basically was wondering how to make it fluid on the stage without having these kinds of things. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So that if that was reverb, I could do the gesture like this, and you could hear the reverb, or I could kind of move my arms to left and to right, and you would see and hear the sound kind of. You would almost see it kind of moving around the stage. It's much more interesting than kind of doing that, turning a pot around. So what happened was, about 2.5 years ago, I went to the MIT Media Lab, and I saw something amazing. It's quite interesting, actually. The man is here today. But I saw Ellie Jessup's glove. She had made this kind of glove, and what she had done with it is very, very simple, but it just kind of, it was not simple at all to do, but the idea is simple, was that she demoed it for me. She sang a note, and then as she was singing a few different notes, she kind of did this, and it stopped whatever note or grain of a voice that she was on at that particular moment, and basically, like, you could almost see it kind of being held like this, and she would do vibrato like this, and I think she could change the harmony as well by moving her wrist. And this idea of kind of gesture demonstrating to an audience, and also feeling much more natural to do. Like, of course, that would be like you would hold that note. when I saw this kind of combination of gesture and music, that it felt like intuitively right, instinctively kind of understood this gesture, my whole brain kind of exploded, and I was just so excited, and I just wanted to go home and get to work on the gloves. But Ellie was working very hard on Todd Mackover's Opera of the Future, and with all this, which I have yet to see myself, I'm very excited to see it, with this glove, so that's what that was used in. So I came back home, and 2.5 years later, here I am with the gloves on the stage. Most of my tech is actually not directly to do with the gloves and the gestures. These are actually, this is my microphone, this is my headphone, so I can hear what's coming back. And the ones on my back, the left and the right, they're my microphone, wrist microphones. And the thing in the middle at the back is a hub, which is connecting these sensors, the bend sensors, the lights, little buzzers for feedback, so I can tell whereabouts I am on the stage. And then here on the back, I have a connect. So this is the kind of next dimension, is so that here I can kind of change sounds and manipulate things, which I'll demonstrate a little bit. But the connect is as if the music, the floor is like my playground, so I can kind of walk into different areas of sounds that I've kind of programmed to be in those places, or kind of certain sets of instruments that I might want to walk into, a room of drums or a choir of me's. So I'll show you what I mean. First of all, I'm going to have some water. Well, actually, it's Coca-Cola. It's good for the voice. Okay, so it's not just a controller, it is really an instrument. It feels like an instrument to play, because the way that we program the kind of instruments, the kind of groups of gestures, are as if you were really playing an instrument. So it's really like playing music in 3D space. So here we go. I'll just begin by demoing a little bit what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to play you a song, which I wrote 3 months ago, once the gloves were ready to write with. So I'm going to play you that song. Okay, here we go. So I'll just demonstrate a little bit, so out of solo. So this is notes mode. So I can play notes in the air. I can play single notes. But the idea, as we discovered, is not trying to be like another instrument. The idea is to kind of celebrate what the gloves can do on their own. And you couldn't do this with any other instrument. And this basically dances around the last notes that I played. This is changing the filtering and the octaves that it's playing. It's flicking between two separate different sounds. When I go over here, arpeggiator gets slower. And when I come over here, it gets higher and lower. And it also pans. You can hear over there and over there. Can you hear that panning? Okay, so then I've got some bass, if you want to hear some bass. So I've got that in my left hand, so I'll just bring that in. So I can play 2, 3 instruments at once. And so I can play a little bass line here, change the filtering, bring it in and out, stop that. And then this great thing, which is kind of a bit like what I saw Ellie do, is kind of catching the grains of the sound. So when I have my gloves, they're all different colours to tell me what mode I'm in. This tells me, beware, you're in record mode, or something could happen. So if I sing, beware, in record mode. So I'm kind of going across the waveform, fading it down, panning, more gap between the grains. Okay, so that's that. What else can I show? Oh, I'm panning my voice, la la la. So at the moment I've got that kind of little secret finger. Oh, thank you. Glove team, sitting here in front. Okay, so then if I walk over here, I've programmed it so that I can walk into a choir of me's. And over here, here's another choir of me's. And when I move around the stage, you'll hear like different effects. Whoa! because I wanted to treat the audience as like a kind of a playground too, that my proximity to you changes the way the music is. That's really kind of exciting for me. So when I get further back on this particular way, I've set this particular song up, it gets much bigger, more effects, and when I come closer, it's kind of more intimate and quieter, and there's not so many effects. And so, for instance, I could walk into this area of the stage and kind of do a kind of drum action, and then you would hear drums. Yeah? Nice. I've got... so that's that. So if I kind of go back here, you'll hear they get a bit like... Yeah, like that. Okay, I've also just show you a little bit my... Okay. So that's them, and then that's how I stop recording. But you can change the gestures, you can do whatever you like, you can map it in any way you want. So really this is my mapping, but any other musician could do any other kind of mapping. Not right now, it's not quite ready, but one day. So when I move back, I might go into a different area of the song. You see my gloves change and my voice has become different. So here, actually you didn't hear that because I didn't mention it, but the arpeggiator changed key. I've got some reverb when I pull out my arm with my fist, like that, and I can kind of change that, and I can kind of go into here at the softer, maybe some filtering. Okay, so I'm going to sing you this song now. I've only got 3 minutes to go. Sorry, it's a bit longer than that. So hopefully nobody minds. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for letting me. It's really nice to be able to do the demo and the song, so that you can kind of get the background as well as hearing the song. Okay, so this is called Me the Machine. This is part of my new album. This is the 7th song of my new record. Each song connected to a different project. And the gloves are a long project. But they are wonderful, and I'm very much enjoying the process with fabulous gloves team, half of which are represented here today in the front row. And we might be wandering around if you want to ask us any more questions. Okay, here we go, Me the Machine. I kind of felt like when I was working with the gloves that I'd almost become a machine. I was hardly sleeping, I was being taken over. And I was thinking about what to write for this song, which I literally wrote 5 hours before I had to perform it the first time, which was terrifying. But I did this, and I was imagining what it must be like for a machine to want to be human. They might see a blip in the algorithm, a break in the clouds, and kind of go, oh, that must be what it means to be human. And so this whole song is about wanting to be human, wanting to get back into my life and have nice dinners with my man and things like that. Okay, here we go. Stop talking, so another minute's gone. Okay. Wish me luck. A blip in the algorithm, a break in the clouds, soft circuits jumping, soft circuits jumping. The pin code to happiness, access denied. Switching to manual, switching to manual. Share a scent in a sweet summer breeze, a laugh for a squeeze. How can you teach me these things? Me the machine can treat. With benefits, I'm work in progress, downloading romance, downloading romance, relationship asterisk, this footnotes in plain text, marking your word, marking your share a scent in a sweet summer breeze, a laugh for a squeeze. How can you teach me these things?